Hi, I'm Deb Smucker with the Luxe Fifth Wheels Factory Representative. And today we have a unique opportunity that we don't get very often. A lot of you will ask us, you see a lot of videos when people are picking up and they're excited about their new units. And today we have the opportunity to speak with Salli and Roland. They own this 42RL, which y'all know is one of my favorite floor plans, actually my favorite floor plan. And they are back having some things added and some things done. They've been in this coach for a year, and they are true full-timers. So we thought it would be interesting for you to get to see their coach, for you to get to hear a little bit about their experience we're going to talk about, because it's ongoing. The relationship has been ongoing. We started working a long time ago, and actually some people had to step in and help when I was out for a while. So everybody here is really good about that. The company is great to work with. And we just thought it would be interesting for you to talk to somebody that's truly full-timing, like a lot of you are talking about doing. So we're just going to go into some questions and just tell us a little bit about the beginning and how you went through the experience. And then we'll talk some about your floor plan, because they did some specials to their floor plan that they'll point out and go through with you as well.
Mm-hmm. You want me to talk? I'll talk. So I'll talk.
That didn't take long.
Yeah. So originally we were going to do a 45-foot bus, a coach is what we were going to do. And we've been planning to full-time for 5 years, but people tease us because we've never RV'd. We never camped. We never nothing. But we had been around the RV life, some people that had in Palm Springs, California, and Pismo Beach. We lived there for a couple of years, and we thought this is really cool. And that way we could travel and stuff. So we I don't know how we found Class A's, that's what drew us to the attention of that. And after about the third year of planning and investigating, I told Roland when he came home from work one day, I said, I can't do it. And he said, do what? And I said, I can't live in the bus. I can't live in that. And he goes, why? Because it was beautiful, what we were picking out. And I'm a cook. I needed a bigger kitchen. That was my whole thing. And then we had never seen any fifth wheels that we liked that had the quality. And so we went on YouTube and started Googling, and we found Luxe, and we found New Horizon and Spacecraft, looked at them all. And then this one right here, Deb, there's just something about her. She just drew us more and more into Luxe. We're just watching all those videos, and this was her favorite floor plan, and by golly, it was ours too, out of all the ones that we saw on the YouTube channel. So that's, we made an appointment to fly in, but we had to change it because of COVID, couldn't get on a flight. When we finally did, we knew which floor plan already we were going to order. We went through the whole tour and everything, picked everything out. And we did that a whole year before we picked it up, because we wanted to know when. We had to wait to see when he was going to retire. So we had a lot of time to think about things that we wanted to change before the build even started. And we did change quite a few things. So, yeah.
It's always evolving.
Always, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, we put your order together, and then it went into process. And, like I said, they did several items. They did one of our, and they'll show it later. They did the baker's pantry. We had to create a wall for Roland's special treasure that was coming with them, because they truly are true full-timers. They don't have a residence.
We have nothing in storage. Not one thing in storage.
So this item had to come with them. So we did that. That was interesting. And they were a lot of fun to work with. But then you took your delivery and tell us a little bit, because any product like this is built. This is a big coach. It has a lot of features on it. It has high quality components, but there still is, of course, things that can go wrong, things that happen. Give us just a little bit of summary on how it's been handled. How have people handled you with things that you needed help with? Because people want to know, because we don't have dealerships. So they're like,
So how do we get
taken care of? Who do we talk to?
That's been like seamless. When we were on the road.
Well, we had you. So
They always have
But
my cell phone's out there for everybody.
Right. When we came for the pickup, there's different hands that you touch, or different people that you meet, along the production line or whatever, and there's things that we wanted added or changed once we got here. And so we had some of those phone calls, or phone numbers, but on the way home, we had a little incident that happened and we weren't sure what to do. And we had Oscar's phone number and we texted him and it was something that needed to be addressed right away. We didn't need a service tech because this guy's super handy. And so like 2 days later, we got this box from UPS, this nice wooden crate, and Roland fixed it, It's just something that happened along the road.
But it's a network that we got going here, and the connections, and if you need electrical help, or if you need hydraulic or tires or whatever, there's a few people that you can call, and just in case, for questions or for really truly helping.
So the process of working directly with the factory works for you.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
That's one of the big questions a lot of people have, because people will say, well, they don't have a dealer network. Where do you go? And I have always said, and look them straight in the eye and say, you will not get a better team and you will not get better service than what we will give you. Less things will go wrong.
Right.
But they will take care of you.
Right.
And the other part of it is that when you took possession, that file automatically transferred to our service department, so they know absolutely everything on your coach. That happens for everybody, and that's a big thing.
Right.
Because in a lot of manufacturers, things change, and it's not always recorded. And that's where those coaches went. Who has them.
Right.
I find that interesting. We just like to have people that can really elaborate a little bit on that process.
Yeah, and if it's something that, because we were headed back to California, he still had 3 more weeks of work. So we were headed back to California. But if God forbid something major happened, we knew that all we had to do was call and they would get a certified tech, approved and it would be taken care of.
The coach and the specials that you had done, did they meet your expectations?
There was a couple things, and I think because you were out, and it's hard. It was just a silly little error, but there was a couple things. But when we got here and noticed that they weren't done properly, the team was on it
I remember the conversation from home about the jersey.
The jersey,
we have to have that. That's going to be you have to.
It was a major thing. I mean, they had to move. Originally, the controls were in the middle of the wall, and they had to move it all the way over. And the jersey's very heavy, and they had to beef the wall up and it wasn't done. So it was pretty cool to watch them how they tore that whole thing apart and did it.
And so you've traveled around, you've met up with a lot of our people, you've heard a lot of people.
Yes.
For us, which we thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're great ambassadors for the company. And any information that you would put out there for people thinking to buy one of our coaches?
We learned a lot just by watching your YouTube channel. And I always tell people that there are no 2 coaches alike, because these are so customizable and we all do a lot or a little. And we watched every single video countless times, and we knew like the special sink that we got. Probably a lot of people don't even know about it, but because we watched these things, and as new builds came up, and this was another special thing. So little things like that, that's what I would tell people. It's not always on the website because it might have just been done and we just happened to see the new video that came up.
We talked a lot about specials you did, and I think people would be interested in knowing what your favorite items that you changed. People have to be aware when they're watching the YouTube channel that there's not very many units out there that are what we call quote standard. And sometimes we have to look and see what quote standard is.
Right.
We just discussed the drawers were different. So what were some of the things that you did that really made this? Because what we do is we don't totally customize, but we want to tailor it. And the reason we don't have a long list of everything that we have ever done is because you can't do everything in every coach.
Right.
What we really want to know is you, your personality, what's going to make this home for you. And you did a really good job with it.
Yeah,
so
thank
tell us
you.
a little bit about what you did.
My favorite thing is the part of the pantry. We had a what do you call it? Breville smart air oven that we had probably for about 4 years before we picked this up. We had never used our oven at home. We had a big Bosch oven, never used it once we bought that. And I wanted to take it with, and I didn't want it on the counter. So that was very, there's a lot of thought to go into that, how we're going to make it work. And do you have another one just like this? Has anybody else done it yet?
Not exactly like yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've done the Baker Pantry, which we had done just before, which we were also laughing about that when we did the tour. You're very observant people, and you saw things such as the gray cabinets, which really were not out yet. You saw the Baker's Nook, which
shaker style,
ready for the shaker style cabinets. And it's always funny because when you walk through the plan, I realize how much time people spend looking at our coaches, and they spot things all the time. So that was interesting. You did the shaker style. Yeah.
So there was a lot of thought to go into that to make that pantry work. And then the standard sleep, hideout bed. We didn't want that. And we wanted an even bigger sofa, longer sofa. And then we did, and they all recline. We had the controls put on the inside versus the outside, but then we wanted tables built. So that was, and you had suggested the solid surface on top, which was great. So we love that. Yeah. That's been great. Really nice. Yeah.
All matches.
Yeah. All matches. Yeah.
That was one of the things in the Baker Nook that we did. We took the solid surface clear across. Yeah. So inside, where the other one is a double door pantry and it's wood on the inside with adjustable shelves. This one, we take the countertop clear across because people actually do open it. They store their KitchenAid mixers or their Vitamix blenders or their Instapots. That's the kind of things that they put in there. So that, again, is a very tailorable.
But this had to come out even farther because the oven was so big, so it's as far out as it could go.
They can't go out to the edge with
solid doors instead of the glass.
So those were some of the things. And then, Roland, your favorite.
Of course. I needed a big wall. I have a signed jersey from Willie Mays, so it's very special to us. And of course, I don't want the kids to have it yet. And so I needed a wall, and there's only one wall in here, other than maybe moving some controls over just a hair to get it to hang.
And beef that wall up, His mom was Willie Mays' seamstress.
Right.
So, Willie was coming with us.
Yeah. It's a thing that a lot of people talk about, such as they want to have certain photos. And sometimes, depending on floor plans chosen, if we know ahead of time, we can also make sure that there is some backer or that there is trim work that goes across so they can go into the trim work and not be going into soft touch walls. So, if there's something, like you said, that was so incredibly special, it's going with me no matter what.
Right.
It's beneficial for us to know. It can't be everything, but we can do a lot of things. And if we know ahead of time, then it's more usable.
Right.
And that's what we do. We make it home. That's what we want to do.
When people come in, if we're at a park, at RV park resort, and they ask to come in and we give them a tour, they're just so impressed with the finish work. This is our 10th house. I mean, we've had 9 homes. This is a home. It's our 10th house. We've never had cabinets made as well as this, ever. And we've built homes. People are so impressed with the soft touch walls, and it's not soundproof, but it's soundproof compared to other people. They all have a Newmar Class A, and like, wow, this is so quiet. Yeah,
they are quiet, and due to our 3-inch thick walls, and the fact that's a big factor in the fact that our slides, the exterior walls on our slides, like that wall, is 3 inches thick, where in most coaches, 99% of them, that wall is only going to be about 1.5 inches. And so that's tremendous on your sound, on your insulation factors. So that goes back into my, my build mode.
Yeah, And the paint job, people walk by and they're like, oh my God, this is just beautiful.
That was interesting, that you bring that up. Sitting here, you get to watch a lot of them moving around out in the yard.
Yeah.
And I always like when we do tours, people always want to walk outside in the yard and they'll just stand and look at them.
Yeah.
And it also helps them when they're here. So if any of you can come in, it's always beneficial because you can explain the 4 different masks. We can explain color choices. And it's always interesting because we have some amazing paint jobs that go out of here. And again, that reflects to having the metal on the roof so that the paint goes over the top and isn't going to flake and isn't going to peel.
Right.
So there's so much to all those little pieces.
And just the option of being able to paint the inside of your slide, the outside of the slides. That's something that people go, oh my God, your slides are even painted,
Yeah.
You don't see that many of,
It's the next level.
Yeah,
right?
It is. Yeah.
And it's nice that a lot of those things are optioned. So if it's important to some, they can do it. And if it's not, they don't have to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I appreciate a lot about what we do is we have a lot of things people say, why don't you just always do it? We don't always do it because some people, that's not important to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people like windowsills. Other people don't, but it's not important to them. They don't want to pay for them unless they want them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we have a lot of things that are option
Right.
for coaches as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
So that you can make it for you.
Mhm.
You know, and some of them would rather pick their truck colors and make sure that's on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's, they work really hard here at making it very friendly for the buyer, making it home for them.
Yeah.
And that's why I just love doing what I do because we can do all those things. You know, when I was at the dealership, it would be like, here's your option list. You know, there's 8 or 10 different things. If I would say, please leave the awnings off, it never happened. It was like, you can take them off when it gets there.
Right,
If
right.
I want a different furniture color, no, you have to buy a separate set.
Yeah.
Because that's not what they do.
It's amazing the amount of furniture colors, you know,
Yes.
it just, yeah.
Yeah.
And we love, I mean, we this is an upgraded furniture, but even the standard was perfect, you know.
So we just hit that other niche. You know, they all have their niches, and ours is just really unique. So I'm going to just let you guys walk through the coach, and they'll scan and look at everything on it. I think we covered everything about your build, and I just appreciate what you said about the service part of it, because I think that's one of the big questions that a lot of our clients have. Is like, what's going to happen after we leave?
Yeah.
And you know, it's like you said, they always have my number, and I've had my clients reach out to me on a Sunday, on a Monday, or on a Saturday, and what I appreciated is they're very respectful, that it's a real emergency when they do it.
Right.
And that anytime I have ever put out a text, I would call back to my clients and it would be, I've already heard. I've already talked to somebody. So the guys are just so good about that.
Right,
and
they
our
are.
clients are so respectful to make sure it's an emergency, make sure, you know, something. But if they really need help, our guys always, you know, have responded.
Yeah, the pickup process is amazing. You know, since we had never RV'd before, we stayed on campus for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And, you know, he's very technical. He had to learn everything and he wanted to see how everything put together, but we were able to ask questions. And you guys always advise to stay 2 or 3 days. I would say if you have the time, stay a week, you know, use everything, just everything.
And a lot of people, what they do, and the reason that we always say 2 or 3 days is because we have limited sites. So in season, when there's a lot of people picking up, but there are also a lot of people do what I think you've done.
Go to the campground.
They go to the campground and they stay there for a week. And the good feature of that is they actually tear down, they hook back up. They're only a couple miles from us. And
dump those tanks. Dump the
and
tanks.
of course, we like to have people seeing Luxe sit over there too. That's always good.
Yeah.
You always get new customers too.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it's always an ongoing thing how many times clients show their coaches.
Yep.
And there was at one time 3 coaches in one campground, just very close to each other. And I got the phone call and they said, game is on. Because it was whose paint job was going to attract the most people. You know?
Yeah.
And they had people with buses pull up and say, this is the first one I've ever wanted to see.
Nice.
So it's very unique. Coach.
Yeah. We couldn't be happier. This is our home.
And we've stayed in touch for a long time and always will. And I just appreciate that. I appreciate you working with me. I appreciate all the contacts we had over the last couple of years, you know, and the people that you've sent to us and the help that you give people when they reach out on the pages, on the Facebook pages. That just means so much to us, myself. And so I just want to thank you for
You're welcome. Thank you.
showing us your beautiful coach.
Our pleasure.
My favorite floor plan.
Well, of course.
So, thank you so much for spending the time. And, you know, whenever you come back, we'll do it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Great.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.